Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives. And now you're going to see if we keep reading, and treat them with respect. So really, he lists two things in this verse: be considerate, treat them with respect. I'm breaking it into four, and it's not because there's a Greek word here that that I have to explain to you. It really is just that this idea of be considerate carries a lot of weight. There's a lot there. If you were to translate it literally, it would say, live with your wife in an understanding way. In other words, you need to understand your wife. I think there's three things that go under this idea of be considerate. Let me give you the first one. What every wife needs. Number one, consider her perspective and understand what you can. Guys, you need to consider the perspective of your wife and understand what you can. See, here's the reality. We watch that nail video, and that kind of is how it feels like sometimes. That our wife says, no, it's not this. And to us as husbands, it's just crystal clear what the problem is. They just don't know it. And what husbands tend to do is to try to get their wives to see things from our perspective, and God calls you to see things from her perspective. You need to be a student of your wife. You need to be able to make arguments for your wife. Take her side and argue for her. You need to see things the way she sees them. And I know what you feel sometimes. I've tried to do that. I've tried to see things from her perspective, but I can't. I try to do it, and my wife just says to me, well, you just don't understand. And here's what God says to you: keep trying. Don't stop. This is God's calling to you. So your job is to try to understand why your wife says what she says, and it's also your job to go beyond that and understand why your wife feels the way she feels. Going beyond the words, behind the words, to her feelings. Because here's our tendency, guys. Our wife will tell us something about how she feels, and here's what we tend to say. Okay, I've been married 22 years, just a little tip. When your wife tells you how she feels, do not use this phrase. You shouldn't feel that way. Just a free tip, doesn't go over real well. Because I'm not supposed to tell someone how to feel. That's how they feel. Even though my logic says, this makes sense, I heard what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, your conclusion is just wrong. That's not what God calls us to do. Our job is not to fix the illogical line of thinking we think our wife has. Our job is to consider her perspective and do our best to understand it, not change it. So, when Peter says, be considerate as you live with your wives, what he's saying is, consider her perspective, what she's seeing, and try to understand what you can.